Chosen one, listen carefully. There are moments in your life when the weight of love, hope, and faith seem almost too heavy to carry. You've prayed, you've waited, and you've questioned whether the person in your heart, the one you've held on to in the quiet of your soul, is really meant for you. And now you feel that quiet whisper, that divine pull inside saying, "Don't give up." God's timing doesn't always align with our understanding, but His promises never fail. This message is for you, the one who feels torn between holding on and letting go. God said, "Don't give up on that person." Miracles take time, and what is delayed is not denied. Sometimes the greatest love stories, the most sacred connections, and the most profound transformations are written in silence, in patience, in faith that refuses to break when everything else does. Before we continue, I want you to do something with intention. Stay with me until the very end of this message, because there is power in finishing what you start. In this space, your energy matters. Your belief matters. I want you to write in the comments your warmest wishes and the number 66. This number symbolizes wishes coming true, balance being restored, and the energy of love being activated across the universe. When you type your wish and 66, do it with faith, with love, and with the full belief that what you desire is already on its way. Stay here. Feel these words, because something inside you is awakening. Something you've prayed for is already moving in your favor, even if you cannot see it yet. Chosen one, your destiny awaits. Click the hype button, like this video, subscribe, and walk with us into the light. Now, let's speak about that person. Maybe it's someone you once shared everything with. Laughter, dreams, plans that stretched far beyond the moment. Maybe it's someone you haven't met yet, but you feel them in your spirit, as if your souls have been whispering to each other across time and space. Or maybe it's someone who drifted away, not out of cruelty, but because both of you had lessons to learn before divine alignment could occur. Whatever your story is, this message is not about chasing. It's about trusting. God said, "Don't give up, because what He joined spiritually cannot be broken by the noise of the world." The delays you see are not denials. They are divine pauses meant to prepare hearts, to strengthen souls, to refine love into something pure and unshakable. You see, chosen one, when God gives you a connection that feels different, it's because it is. It's not built on surface desires or temporary emotions. It's built on a purpose, one that may require both of you to grow separately before you can walk together. So many people give up too soon, mistaking divine preparation for rejection, but you have been chosen to see beyond the illusion. You've been chosen to wait, not in weakness, but in wisdom. Because what God is shaping behind the scenes is greater than what your eyes can see. Sometimes, God separates souls for a season, so that when they come back together, they are not half-healed or half-ready, but whole, complete, and capable of carrying the blessing He's planned for them. There are moments when you'll feel forgotten. You'll look at that person's silence and wonder if your prayers went unheard. But God hears every cry, even the ones you can't put into words. He sees the effort you made, the tears you've hidden, the love you gave even when it wasn't returned right away. And He's saying, "Hold on. I'm working in ways you cannot see." Just because the other person doesn't show signs of change yet, doesn't mean the miracle isn't unfolding. Sometimes, the greatest shifts happen in the unseen. The heart softens in silence. The mind transforms in solitude. The soul awakens in the waiting. What feels like distance is often divine surgery. God is healing, rebuilding, and realigning what was once broken. Don't give up, chosen one. Don't let your fear drown your faith. You were never meant to carry the burden of timing, only the responsibility of trust. The person you care for is not lost. They are being guided, just like you. The same divine light that calls you to hold on is also reaching them, even if they don't realize it yet. It's planting seeds of awakening, whispering truth into their dreams, stirring memories in their heart that remind them of you. Every time you feel their presence, every time you sense their energy, it's not your imagination. It's a divine connection reminding you that spiritual love cannot be erased by distance or doubt. And yet, even as you wait, remember, waiting is not a prison. Waiting is preparation. This is your time to grow, to strengthen your spirit, to become the version of yourself that is ready for the miracle you've been praying for. You are not waiting for them as much as you are waiting with God. You are being shaped, refined, and equipped to receive what you once only dreamed about. Sometimes the miracle isn't that the person comes back. Sometimes it's that both of you become who you were meant to be, so that when the time is right, you can meet each other again. Not as two broken hearts trying to heal each other, but as two healed souls ready to build something divine. God said, "Miracles take time, and time is sacred. Time tests love, reveals truth, and exposes what was never real. But it also deepens what is meant to last." Some connections fade under the weight of time, but the divine ones, they endure, they adapt. They grow stronger in the silence, wiser in the separation, softer in the struggle. What God ordains is not fragile, it's eternal. So if you feel the pull in your heart that keeps saying, "Don't give up," trust it. That is your confirmation. That's not desperation. That's divine direction. There will be days when your faith feels small, when doubt creeps in, and your mind tells you to let go because it's too hard. On those days, remind yourself that miracles often arrive disguised as delays. When you least expect it, a door opens, a message comes, a moment shifts everything. You won't have to chase it, because what is yours by divine design will always find its way back. That person, the one who crossed your path for reasons your heart still feels, they're part of a plan that's still unfolding. You may not see the full picture yet, but trust that the hands of God are painting it with love, with purpose, with precision. Chosen one, I know it's hard to hold on when everything in you wants to let go, but the same God who put that person in your heart knows why. He doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't play with emotions. If he told you not to give up, it's because the story isn't over. The chapters you can't read yet are still being written, and one day, when you look back, you'll understand why the waiting was necessary. You'll see that every prayer, every tear, every moment of faith was building something unshakable, a foundation strong enough to hold the miracle. The love that's meant for you there will never pass you by, but it may require you to become someone new to meet it again. God uses distance to build strength. He uses silence to build clarity. He uses time to build truth. That person you love, they're being worked on too. Their journey may be different, their pace slower, their lessons harder, but they're learning. And while they grow, you are growing too. One day, those paths that now seem far apart will meet again, and everything will make sense. Every unanswered question will turn into understanding. Every wound will become wisdom. Every moment of doubt will become proof of divine timing. So hold on. Keep your heart open. but keep your faith stronger. Love them through your prayers, not your worry. Release control, but never release hope. Because when God said, "Don't give up," He wasn't asking you to suffer. He was preparing you to witness the beauty of a miracle that only patience can unlock. You don't need to chase the person. You don't need to fix them. Just love them from your soul, trust in God's process, and let divine timing do the rest. What's meant for you will return, not because you begged for it, but because it was always written that way. Even now, as you listen, something inside you is shifting. You're remembering that you're not alone in the waiting. There are countless souls like you, chosen ones, learning to trust the process, learning to believe even when nothing seems to move. And yet, miracles are happening all around. People reunite after years. Hearts soften after silence. Doors open when all hope seems lost. It's not random. It's divine alignment. You are part of that. You are chosen to believe when others give up. You are chosen to see light where others see only endings. That's your gift. That's your calling. Keep walking in faith. Keep believing in love. Keep holding on to that person in your prayers, not because you're desperate, but because you know God is still working. Every moment you choose faith over fear, you move closer to your miracle. Remember, miracles take time, but they always arrive right on time. Chosen one, when God gives you a message so clear, so deeply felt in your spirit, that it lingers no matter how much you try to reason it away, it's because that message carries divine weight. Don't give up on that person. Those words aren't just comfort. They are instruction. They are a divine reminder that what He placed within your heart has purpose beyond the surface. You are not crazy for feeling what you feel. You are not weak for hoping again. You are not foolish for believing that love can still heal, still return, still transform. The truth is, God often hides the miracle behind patience so that when it unfolds, your soul recognizes that it was never coincidence. It was destiny. Sometimes the delay is not because the person isn't meant for you, but because they're not ready yet. They may still be learning how to love without fear, how to open their heart without walls, how to receive the love you've always been ready to give. And you may still be learning how to love without attachment, how to give without losing yourself, how to trust without needing proof. So in this waiting, God isn't withholding. He's teaching. He's shaping you both into what the promise requires. It's not about waiting for someone to become perfect. It's about allowing divine timing to make both hearts prepared. In the silence, God speaks the loudest. He whispers through intuition, through dreams, through moments when your heart suddenly remembers them with no reason at all. That's not coincidence. That's divine communication. There are times when you feel them thinking of you, when you sense their energy before they appear, when the bond between your souls becomes undeniable. That's God showing you that the connection still breathes, even in absence. You see, true connections aren't broken by distance or silence. They live beyond logic. They live in prayer, in spirit, in the invisible threads that God Himself wove between two souls meant to find their way back to each other. Chosen one, you might be tired. You might have cried more nights than you can count. You might have told yourself, "This is it, I'm letting go," only to feel your heart pulled back by something stronger than your will. That's because this isn't about willpower. It's about purpose. And purpose doesn't fade. When God joins two hearts for a higher reason, the connection becomes sacred ground. You may walk away in the flesh, but your spirit will always remember. And until both of you are ready to honor that purpose, life will keep weaving lessons designed to lead you back to understanding, to healing, to truth. There will be moments when the pain feels unbearable. The silence may stretch too long. The signs may seem unclear. And yet, right when you think it's over, something inside you stirs again. That quiet hope, that inner voice that refuses to die. That's not your imagination. That's God reviving your faith, reminding you that this story still has chapters unwritten. The person you love may be distant now, but that doesn't mean they've forgotten you. Sometimes, they remember you in the quiet of their mind and feel the same ache you do. They think of what was said, what was lost, what could have been. And even if pride or fear keeps them silent, their soul is learning. God is working on their heart too. You have to trust that every moment apart is serving a higher purpose. God doesn't waste pain. He doesn't allow separation without reason. Maybe this time apart is what will teach them the true meaning of love. The kind of love that doesn't run when things get hard. And maybe this waiting is teaching you how to love without losing your peace, how to surrender without breaking. Both of you are being refined, purified, and molded into the people you need to be for the promise to survive. This is divine conditioning, strengthening the bond, purifying the intention, preparing the miracle. Don't rush the process. What God is building is too precious to be rushed. You may not see the progress, but it's there. Every day, small shifts are happening in the spiritual realm. Their heart is softening. Your patience is growing. The threads of destiny are being tightened. What seems still is actually sacred movement. Remember, seeds don't grow above the soil first. They grow roots beneath it, and in the same way, God is growing this love underground, unseen, but not unfelt. When the time comes, it will bloom naturally, effortlessly, beautifully. And while you wait, remember to keep your heart pure. Don't let bitterness take root where love is meant to live. Forgive them, even if they never apologized. Forgive yourself for the moments you lost your faith. Because forgiveness is the bridge that keeps the connection alive. It cleanses the energy between two souls, allowing love to flow freely again. Every time you choose love over resentment, you invite the miracle closer. Every time you pray for their healing instead of judging their silence, you strengthen the spiritual bond that ties you together, chosen one. The enemy wants you to give up because he knows the power of what's coming. He knows that when divine unions align, light multiplies, healing multiplies, peace multiplies. The world changes when love rooted in God manifests. So of course the path feels heavy. Of course it feels uncertain. You are carrying something sacred, and sacred things are always tested. But you have to remember, the test isn't to destroy you. It's to prove that your faith can endure. Every obstacle you face, every delay you endure, every doubt you overcome, it's all building strength for the promise that's coming. When you think of that person, don't focus on what's wrong. Focus on what's possible. See them healed. See them growing. See them walking back into your life as the version God always intended them to be. Speak life over them, even when you're hurting. Your prayers are not wasted. Your love is not wasted. Every word you've whispered to heaven has been heard, stored, and is now being woven into the plan. God is not ignoring you. He's aligning everything at the right pace. You may want it now, but He knows exactly when it will bring the most joy, the most growth, the most purpose. You are not waiting in vain. You are waiting in faith. You are holding a promise that has already been sealed in heaven. You may not see the evidence yet, but your spirit knows it's true. You feel it deep inside, that inner knowing that refuses to die. That's the voice of divine truth reminding you, miracles take time. Not because God is slow, but because He's thorough. He's aligning hearts, rewriting stories, redeeming what was broken. He's ensuring that when the miracle arrives, it stays, not as a temporary blessing, but as a permanent testimony of His faithfulness. There's something powerful about your endurance, chosen one. Every day you choose faith, you are proving to heaven that you can be trusted with what's coming. And because of that, you will see the reward. The person you love will see the truth one day. They will look at you and realize that you never gave up, not out of weakness, but out of divine conviction, and that realization will awaken something inside them that changes everything. They will begin to see you not as just someone from their past, but as the answer to prayers they didn't know how to speak. When that moment comes, you'll understand why God told you to wait. You'll see that nothing was lost. It was all being prepared. Even now, angels are working in the unseen, circumstances are shifting. Paths are realigning. The very fabric of time is being woven in your favor. The love you thought was gone is being renewed. The hearts that wandered are being redirected home. What seemed like an ending is actually the beginning of something divine. God is in the details. Chosen one, He's in every coincidence, every sign, every dream that brings you hope. You are not crazy for believing. You are faithful for holding on. One day soon, you'll wake up and everything will feel different. The weight on your heart will lift. The silence will break. The message you've been waiting for will arrive. Not because you forced it, but because it was finally time. And in that moment, you will know. Every tear, every prayer, every moment of patience was worth it. You'll see that God's not yet was never no. It was simply, I'm still preparing. And when the miracle arrives, it will not only restore what was lost, it will transform it into something greater than you could have imagined. So keep your heart steady, keep your eyes lifted, keep your faith alive. Don't let the waiting turn into worry. Turn it into worship. Turn it into growth. Turn it into trust, because one day, the very thing you're praying for will look back at you and say, "You never gave up on me." And you'll smile, knowing that it wasn't you who held it together. It was God all along. Miracles take time, chosen one. But they always, always come right on time. Chosen one. Sometimes the miracle doesn't arrive in the way you expect. It doesn't come wrapped in clarity or comfort. Sometimes it comes disguised as silence, distance, confusion, and what feels like loss. But that's where divine transformation begins. In the unseen, in the unknown, in the space where faith has to take over because logic no longer can. God said, "Don't give up on that person." Not because He wants you to wait endlessly in pain, but because He wants you to understand that real love, the kind He ordains, is built through the refining fire of patience, grace, and surrender. You are being asked to trust what you cannot yet see, because what's forming behind the curtain of time is greater than you can comprehend. There are days when your heart feels both strong and fragile, strong enough to keep believing, but fragile enough to ache in the waiting. You might wake up one morning with peace and go to bed wondering if you imagined everything. You might see signs that reassure you, and then face days of complete silence that test your belief all over again. But God never asked for perfect faith. He asked for steady faith. Faith that trembles but still stands. Faith that doubts but still prays, faith that cries but doesn't walk away. That is the kind of faith that moves mountains. That is the kind of faith that births miracles. When God connects two souls, He does it with eternal intention. He plants something deep within both hearts that time cannot erase. It's like a sacred imprint, a divine signature that remains even when life pulls you apart. You might try to forget them, distract yourself, move forward, but there will always be moments when their energy calls to you, when something as small as a song, a word, or a scent brings them back to your heart. That's not obsession. That's divine resonance. That's your spirit recognizing the one it's spiritually tied to. And every time it happens, God is reminding you, the story isn't finished yet, keep your faith alive. Sometimes that person is not just part of your love story. They are part of your soul's awakening. Through them, God teaches you about patience, forgiveness, endurance, and unconditional love. Through them, you learn that love is not about possession, but about purpose. It's about growing into a version of yourself that mirrors divine love, selfless, enduring, pure. Even in the pain, you are being elevated. Even in the silence, you are being strengthened. You are learning that true love is not proven when everything is easy, but when everything is uncertain and you still choose faith. There are times when you'll want to walk away, to stop caring, to close your heart just to protect it. But you'll find that you can't, not because you're weak, but because love has already transformed you. You've evolved through this connection. You've learned how to love deeper, how to feel with more compassion, how to trust God more completely. And that's the hidden miracle, that through the waiting, you are being molded into someone stronger, wiser, and more in tune with the divine. The love you feel is not wasted energy. It's sacred energy shaping you into the vessel of light you were meant to be. Chosen one, understand this. Love is one of God's greatest tests. It reveals where your faith truly lies. Do you love only when it's easy, or can you still love when it's uncertain? Can you trust that God is working in someone's life even when their actions say otherwise? Can you surrender control and let divine timing take its course? That is what separates those who give up too soon from those who witness miracles, because God doesn't give up on people. He transforms them, and He uses love to do it. The person you're thinking about, they're not forgotten. They're being worked on in ways you can't see. They might be facing their own lessons, confronting their own shadows, learning how to let God back into their life. You can't see it, but something is shifting. The same divine hand that is shaping your heart is shaping theirs. Maybe they needed to lose you for a season to realize your worth. Maybe they needed time to heal from old pain before they could love you properly. Maybe they needed to learn what real love looks like by experiencing its absence. And while they go through that process, God is keeping you covered, protecting your heart, so that when the time comes, you'll be ready to receive the blessing without bitterness. Every season of waiting has a reason. Every tear you cry waters the soil of the miracle that's about to bloom. Every moment you choose patience over despair, faith over fear, you're proving to heaven that you can be trusted with divine love. You're not waiting aimlessly. You're waiting purposefully. You're aligning with the rhythm of divine timing. You're learning that surrender isn't losing control. It's giving control back to the one who always had it. Chosen one, I know the nights are long. I know the silence feels endless. But God hasn't forgotten your prayers. He hasn't ignored your cries. Every whispered why has been heard. Every sleepless night has been seen. And even when you feel nothing, He is still working, rearranging circumstances, opening paths, softening hearts. When the time is right, everything will click into place with such grace and ease that you'll realize why it had to take so long. You'll see that the delays were actually protection. The silence was preparation. The distance was development. The very things that made you doubt were the things God used to build your faith when you finally reunite with that person. Whether it's in this life or in another divine form, you'll carry an understanding that few ever reach. You'll know that love isn't about instant gratification, but about eternal connection. You'll look at them and see not just who they are, but who they became through God's hand. You'll recognize how far you've both come, how much you've both healed, and how God's fingerprints were on every chapter, even the ones that hurt. That's the beauty of divine timing. It doesn't just restore what was lost, it resurrects it into something holy. Even now, chosen one, heaven is aligning things. The spiritual realm is busy weaving the story you can't yet see. That person may feel distant, but they're being drawn closer to the truth. You may not see movement, but every day, something in them shifts. A thought, a realization, a memory, a moment of awareness. God is nudging their heart, stirring their soul, preparing the path for reunion. And you, by keeping faith, are playing your part. Your patience is an act of obedience. Your love is a living prayer. Your endurance is the bridge between promise and fulfillment. And when the moment comes, chosen one, you'll feel it in your spirit, a peace that shows everything was worth the wait. Every prayer, every tear, every moment of faith will make sense. God was preparing both of you for each other, and that is the miracle fulfilled.